And we're live. Hi, everybody. It's Annette. I haven't been on here since May. So, this is an extra special treat because I haven't done a live like this. I took a little break, but we're back. And the first guest is Merle Jones. And I'm so excited about this because he does something that's very much needed in the veteran community, but even with transitioning soldiers to make sure that they're prepared to receive the ratings that they deserve. And so he works with United Shield, but I'm going to have him come on and talk about his time in service because he is retired and his whole mission behind building this community, building this foundation for all of us to get on board with, just to protect ourselves and just get the benefits we are deserving of. So thank you so much, Merle, for being on here. Yes, so tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into your whole mission, your why.
Well, thanks, Annette. I really appreciate that. So I retired, 20 years ago, 2000. It's been a long time, but it's been a great, retirement. I highly encourage it for those that are still serving. We appreciate your service, but there is life on the next side. So definitely something to look forward to. So I retired, 20 years ago, started a financial planning firm, and really the last several years, watched the entire retirement transition change. VA disability has taken on an entire new scope of value to the pensions and really to retirees that are out there. So that's United Veteran Benefits Agency. We help assist there. And then we're coaching families how to leave the military. It amazes me that we're really great at what we do in the military, but that transition process is like so scary to everybody. And the military families just aren't getting the information and really value the time that they're getting coached to understand the benefit package, to build their best package for their family, to make sure that they truly get the full potential of these retirements.
And I was having a conversation with Mr. Jones a while ago, just kind of sad because I didn't get all that information, or I wasn't given those choices to make. I was told this is the way you do it, this is what's best for you, and so that's the route I went. And unfortunately, I can't change that, so I'm just trying to make the best of it. But then there's people like you that we need to broadcast, that we need to share, because we don't know what we don't know, right? So this is why we do this, so that we can share it with everybody and that you guys can share it to those who you feel are in need of this information. Because you're right, families don't know. When I went in, I mean, my husband's active duty, but there's a lot of soldiers out there who go and do these by themselves, and they don't include the family because nobody tells them, hey, you should bring your family. Maybe your wife needs to know, maybe this. It's just one-sided. And then you know how we go home and we forget to tell our spouses. It's like, oh, this is a decision I made, and that's how we're going to do it. It shouldn't be like that, because it affects the rest of your future.
Well, we start to get tunnel vision towards the end, and what is it that once you decide to retire, it's another career, it's a job, and we lose track of all the moving pieces around. And for our military families, that have served with us, the government has a program. It's called Survivor Benefits. In a lot of cases, that is the best program. In a lot of cases, it's not. Really, the one piece, if you have children out there and you're really looking at retirement, understand how the child SBP works, because a lot of I talk to families, they have a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, they're pregnant, and they're retiring, and they have young people. I'm like, SBP, if you take it with the spouse and child, it's the same amount unless the spouse dies with you. So why not, for a whole lot cheaper, just take the child SBP? Your family gets the same amount of money for the entire family. It's way cheaper. So there's a lot of different moving pieces that most people just don't understand the rules, and then it's a math drill. Unfortunately, when you walk into that little, your final, you're clearing and they've got to sign it. And hey, your spouse has to be here. If you decide not to take it, they have to sign it. And it's just like, I feel like I'm buying a used car. It's like, I don't need to get forced into doing something. Let's bring the military family members in early, go through the math, get the approvals. So you do have a comparison ahead of time. And I think that's one of the things we like to do is coach people to understanding the benefits, look at the raw data, look at the math, pick the strategy that makes sense for your family. And many times, I'm going to tell you, I have told people, take the government program because now we'll walk through the why.
No, absolutely. And unless you're really proficient on that topic, you won't know what questions to ask. Because I'm sitting here I'm kind of feeling dumb. Like, how come I didn't know? How come I didn't know what questions to ask? Because even when you were showing me numbers, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I had no idea. And it was too late by then. But now I can, tell other people, go here. He will break it down to you because that's probably not the way you should go. So yeah, it's so, those details are so intricate. Like you have to be shown that on paper. You have to see
and
what you're going to
that's why we created the transition retirement workbook. It lays down the math. You can see it side by side. It is about the numbers. And it's, a lot of SBP, once the children are out of the house, there is no legacy after SBP. So if something were to happen to you after the kids are out of the house and your husband, all of that is gone. It's poof. All of a sudden, if you didn't save elsewhere, you're not getting that jumbo tax-free benefit of civilian life insurance.
Yeah, and see that's sad for me. My daughter's already out. She's 21, and my son is still here. He's 18, but still, that's something that we have to think about. Like, oh my gosh, it's where does it go? I've fortunately have been saving in other areas, but there's so many out there who don't. They don't have a savings plan. They don't know because they're living paycheck to paycheck. So it's such a scary thing. But really quick, we have Matt Quick says, this is a great discussion. When we transition from the military, it can be overwhelming. Thanks, Merle Jones and United Shield Life Insurance for providing clarity.
We appreciate that, Matt. Absolutely. Our goal is to educate and inform and make sure families are understanding their benefit package.
Yes. So not a lot of people might know this, but the SBP, how long is that? How long do you have to say, you know what, this is not a good idea, I want to go elsewhere? Because I didn't know. Well, I probably knew that, but I forgot, and it was already, time had passed.
So if you elect survivor benefits, as you transition out, technically you have until you actually retire to change your mind. But once you've retired, between month 24 and month 36, you can go back in and modify it. So if you take a small portion, you can pay back and get back into the full portion. And some people do that because they want the comfort knowing that they can buy back in that time period. But most people, it's like, hey, I want to get out of this because I have found a civilian plan. One of the things we warn people about civilian plans is you have to qualify. The Advantage Survivor Benefits and VGLI, it is a guaranteed issue. You can take that. They don't care what your health is. On the civilian world, you have to prove your health. So we tell people a year out, you want to start building your exit strategy. So you want to lock in your health because let's just tell the truth. The hidden retirement bonus program that's been out there is the VA disability. And we've been at war for 20 years. Most of us have multiple deployments. So we're a little scuffed up. And a lot of people are getting high disability ratings. Well, if you think about it from the civilian life insurance sector, they're going to look at that saying you're unhealthy, you're 100% disabled. So we try to get people before they have a rating and really before they start working their claim. The most prevalent one I hear all the time is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea increases your premium by about 50%. Think about that. If you normally would be paying $100, you're paying $150, $160 a month for the same policy. So if you lock it in early, that 30-year payment program is substantially different when you cut the premiums in half. So we encourage people start early, build a strategy, but do the numbers. And that's why we have our workbook, because numbers don't lie. How much should I project? Where is my short term, midterm, and long term? Who gets what? And I think that's the critical point. That is to make sure that we just understand all the moving pieces.
Oh, that's so great. I mean, gosh, like I said before, I wish you would have known this. I wish I would have known this 5 years ago. I know a lot of people wish they probably watching this going, I wish I would have known this too. But there's certain things that is not too late for, like the ratings. So can you talk about how you help with that? And I'm going to go back really quick because actually, one of my former soldiers worked for you, and she's the one who says you need to talk to these people because they are amazing. And see, I take that to heart because I've known her since 2007, 2008, and I respect her. And so when she says something like that, I'm like, tell me more. So this is one of the reasons why Merle Jones is on here today, is because of testimonies like that. She has seen the work. She has seen the successes. So can you talk a little bit about that?
So the VA Disability Company is a company that really, my wife and I were in the hot tub, and I had not gotten a good rating. So my generation, I had 5 deployments, jumped out of airplanes for 8 years with master parachutists, and I was giving a 30% rating with no increases for 18 years. And I went back in and I started the process. It was tedious, it was painful. I get more lowball offers. I connected with a guy that was an adjudicator for the VA. We have a conversation, and I talked to my wife. I said, we have got to help more veterans. There is no way it's fair that we're getting what we're getting. It's not the right number. So we offered this guy a position. We started a company. We are continuing to grow the company. We have other people do the same thing. But what the goal is to sit down with veterans and families and genuinely help them get the rating they are entitled and deserve. And that's the key pieces. One of the biggest compliments we've had is I had dinner with a friend of mine that's also a client. We got him a much better rating, and his appreciation is nobody tried to tell him, hey, we're going to work this. We want you to say this. There's no scamming. It is genuinely listening to how to tie the injuries and illnesses together the way they're supposed to be, so we get the appropriate and proper ratings. And I think that's critical to what we do is really, and most people don't understand the financial ramifications. It's not just a check. It is college education. It is, Homestead Exemption Act, so you may not pay property tax or a reduction in property tax. When you start stacking the benefits that this really comes into, I can't tell you how many people said it's changed their lives, and that's critical for us. And as a financial planner, what's our number one thing is just try to help people retire. Well, you help people retire when you get them more income. So our goal in life is to genuinely sit down and take the holistic approach and figure out how we can help those that have served our country and really get the entitlements they deserve.
I love that you say that you genuinely want to help them, because there are, and just from my experiences of hearing stories from other members who have been working on their disability cases for 10 years, it's been such a heartache because there are so many people out there that they say they want to help, but they also charge, they charge a lot for services that they don't always follow through with. So it's very difficult to decide who should I ask to help me.
Well, I like that if you're a retiree, if we don't get you to concurrent receipt 50%, we don't get paid anything. But the other side is we don't get paid until after you get an increase. And I'm knocking on wood. I mean, we've never had a downgrade. Our bottom line is we have told people, stop, you have the right rating, please don't try to play the system because you can lose. Ratings can go down. So at the end of the day, our goal is to make sure you get the appropriate rating. And if you have it, we're going to tell you you're good. I get a lot of times where people are still serving want us to help them. While you're in, the rules are with the VA is there's a process when you transition that you have to use. After you exit the military and you are discharged and you have a rating or you're at least retired or separated, then we can step in and say, hey, where are you at? And what we do is we look at your situation and we start looking and trying to tie what did you do? We do the holistic approach. We're going to have a conversation with you. And our intake coordinators are amazing. They're veterans. They've gone through this process. And they really, there's a lot of empathy that, us that have served together understand. And we really want to help our military families get, the appropriate benefit package.
I thank you for saying that and for just being honest about it, because you guys, you're not going to get that anywhere else. Everyone's going to want you to pay a certain fee or do a certain thing, but you're hearing it from him on they're going to get you to where you need to be, where you deserve to be. And he'll tell you when to stop, because sometimes you don't keep pushing it because you might not get what you want. That's just how it is. It can get ugly. But just really quick, I have thank you for everyone that's watching right now. It really touches me because your support means so much to the both of us. Because this is what we want to do. We want to continue to share this information. So if you're watching this and you know someone who could benefit it, please share this. Please invite them. If you don't get a chance to watch this live, it'll be on YouTube. It's on both of my Facebook pages, my personal one and the one that's a Wild Ride Call Live, and then on YouTube as well. So we are spreading this message as far as we can, because this is so important. And you already know me, or if you don't, I only do things like this if I personally believe in it. I don't ever just go and spout off information that I don't know anything about. So this is real. This is true. This is it's such important information that needs to be shared. And so thank you so much for everyone that's watching. So what do you want to do next with this? Do you want to expand? There's so much that's going on. It's exciting because you're helping so many people.
Right. We're very blessed. We are expanding. We're a nationwide company, so we can talk to people all over the country. And I think that's our goal, is we continue to add as appropriate. So we are hiring. The Jones Invest Group, the financial planning firm, is an approved skill bridge. So we are bringing on other folks in that capacity. So what we're trying to do is get the word out there. So we have like 3 different arms. We have the financial planning firm, where we have a certified financial planner. It's a partner. We merge businesses. But then, United Shield coaches people how to leave the military, and United Veteran Benefits Agency helps coach those that have already left for the VA disability rating. So we do just about anything money when it comes to our military families.
That is so awesome. And I'm sitting here thinking about how I didn't get out the traditional way. I had 6 months to get out, so I was in a rush. But for those that might be in my situation, right, is it okay for them to come to you if they have 5 months left?
And then it's never too early or too late. At the end of the day, what we do is I just talk to, somebody that's already been retired, has a job, he's doing well. But we looked at the plan he has, and he's like within that 2-year to 3-year window. So we're now looking at plans that, okay, what makes sense? Like I said, on the civilian life insurance side, you have to prove insurability. So we're looking at building out a strategy that doesn't cost them. Let us do the work for you, get some options, and when we have the hard numbers, we'll come back and make sure that your plan makes sense for you.
That's great. And I just wanted to go back really quick. You said something about being an approved skill bridge. I kind of understand what that means, but can you explain that to those that maybe want to come work for you and help support your team?
Right. So the Skill Bridge program is a great program, probably the best program out there right now, where you get to go work in corporate America. We are one of those in that world that we can accept you. We are growing nationally. What we're trying to do is bring in and grow the team where it just makes sense. We just brought on somebody at Fort Leonard Wood. He just finished not long ago. He is now part of our team. He's doing very well, and he's getting after it. So the goal is to help, bring people in. We did have somebody come in about a year and a half ago that didn't stay with us, but he stayed in our industry. He learned a lot, got all of his licenses, really realized he didn't want to be an independent financial planner, which makes sense. That's why you do a skill bridge with a corporation. It may not be a perfect fit, but you get the education, you start networking. He created some great networks, got a great follow-on job. That's exactly what it's about. It's helping our veterans as they are retirees and separating service members get a hand up, get ready to go, and whether it's with us forever or at least the education and the experience and the credentialing, so they're ready to go into this career path.
That is so great. I didn't even know about SkillBridge until last year.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it even existed. So I think that's a great program and that you're even part of it because, gosh, so many people can learn from that, and just make their decisions afterwards. So that is so great. So you are at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, which is great. For some people who don't think so, it is. It's a good thing because he needs to help those soldiers that are coming out, that are leaving from there. They don't know anything about financial stability and how to save and all those things. So that's such a great location. But to be nationwide as well for other people to call in and learn from you, I think is so great. And so when you take calls, you could do Zooms, right? So you can actually share your screen and show them numbers because that's what you did with me. But that's available to everybody?
I'm on Zoom all day. That's probably the primary mode of communication at this point. We have a place in Florida, so we're down, Jacksonville, Florida. I'll be at Fort Bragg later this week. So we bounce back and forth. Still traveling a little bit with COVID. We've cut back the travel. Zoom is the easiest way for everybody, and we're willing to work a Saturday or an evening if a military family, because we like it when the spouse is engaged and involved. And it shouldn't be the service member making all the decision. Let's bring in the team and let's educate the team and let's make sure that the plan we're building is appropriate for the team.
Absolutely. And that's so important and not said enough. So you guys, it's okay to bring your family in and talk about it. It's a joint decision that's going to affect the rest of your life. Trust me. I mean, especially with not getting paid on time or just little things like that, you have to always be prepared. I know that my mom taught me to always have an emergency fund. At least I have at least 3 months, and I tell my kids the same. At least 3 months. That's just minimal, but I think everybody should have that. And I think there's always a way to figure that part out. So, gosh, well, thank you so much for all this information. Again, you guys can reach out to him. Is this the best website right here, unitedshield.com?
Yeah, absolutely. The office, the phone number is 573-336-8328. And they can find me on LinkedIn as well. So shoot me a message. Happy to help out.
That's awesome. And then you guys, if you didn't get that, you can always message me and I will connect you with Merle. That way you guys are always in communication. Again, if you're watching this, thank you so much. If you missed this live, please rewatch it. Tell me if you are back on and share it with as many people as possible so that we could get this message out there. Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers?
Well, I just want to thank our men and women that have served our country and the families. I will tell you, we just celebrated Veterans Day, and I will tell you, our entire team, we're a lot of military families, veterans, and we really genuinely, from the bottom of our heart, appreciate our veterans and our military families have done for this country. So thank you to the veterans out there and those future veterans, those that are serving today. Please take the time to do the research, really look at the numbers, bring your family in. This is a family project.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for what you do. And I'm so glad we connected. And I just thank you so much for everything. So, you
Well,
guys,
thanks.
thank you so much. Thank you. Again, UnitedShield.com, Merle Jones on LinkedIn. If you don't get any of that, then contact me and I'll send you his way. So thank you guys for watching. If there's some comments that I missed, because I'm only seeing some, I will go back and look through them and I will respond accordingly, or I'll send those questions over to Merle so that we can get them answered. So I apologize if I didn't answer all of them. We will get to them if there are some that I missed. So thank you again so much, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for that.